So Charmaine, we've already looked at weight loss, which is what we've been working on, and we've got the healthy diet, and we've got the exercise regime, and all those goals and things set in place. And you mentioned around bread and toast, and that's one thing that you find is something that keeps on. Well, you explain to me.
It's a struggle.
Okay.
I love bread, I love toast, and to maintain my weight and to lose a little bit more weight, that is the obstacle.
Okay. Is that something you want to work on? Do you want it so that you never have bread again, or that you can still have bread if and when, but you don't have it as often? Is that what you
I'd
prefer?
like to say for a month not to have bread at all.
Okay.
So I can just lose a few more pounds, drop a dress size, and then be able to have bread just as and when.
Okay, so is there a food product similar to bread that you could do that with? That, you know, you can take it or leave it, not...
Well, the only thing that people suggest to me is Pitta Bread, which I
Okay.
can take or leave.
Okay.
I wouldn't think of having it in place of bread or as an alternative really at the moment.
Okay. And when you say bread, is that bread for a sandwich, or bread is just bread and butter, or bread as toast?
Toast, either toast with Marmite or toast with peanut butter or toast with jam. Just toast with butter.
Toast.
With toast. Or as a sandwich at lunchtime.
Okay.
Instead of just having salad and chicken or tuna and salad, I like to combine the tuna salad in the bread.
So would it be okay for you on those days, maybe if you're a little bit hungry, to have Pitta Bread and have a chicken salad inside Pitta Bread? Would that be something that would be acceptable to you if it was a hungrier day?
Oh yes, it would have to be, because that would overcome the hunger pangs.
Okay. There's a technique that this would fit really well to, which is called Submodalities. And Submodalities, the way we code and give meaning to things, whether it be food, events, memories, everything. It's the way we code and how we can relate to things. So if I was to give you an example of this, if you were to think of bread for me, I want you to put your hand where that bread is.
If I think about bread?
Yeah. Where as you think about bread, so close your eyes, where is it in relation to you?
Just going into my mouth.
Okay. Keeping that hand there, I want you to open your eyes and look at me. Okay, now think of Pitta Bread and put your left hand where that is in relation to you.
Farthest way as possible, really.
Okay, so do you notice that there's a difference?
Yes.
Obviously.
One's over there, don't want that, and the bread or the toast is here.
With Submodalities, the way it codes, you can relax your arms now, the way it codes and gives meaning is things that are closer to you. Generally, this is a generalisation, generally things that you're more attracted to, that you want. And the fact that you're thinking of bread and it's right there, it's almost saying, eat me.
Yes.
Whereas something that's further away from you, you're not going to pay much attention to it because it's not in your mind's eye. With the technique that I'm wanting to use with you, I will move the picture you've got of bread, toast. Do you want to refer to it as bread or as toast? In fact, let's check. Think of bread and where is it in relation to you? If you put your hand there. Okay, and think of toast.
Same position.
Okay, so
it's together, so you can either say toast or bread, I don't mind.
For the purpose of this, I'll stick to bread,
right,
just so I don't tongue-tie myself.
Okay.
I'll move that picture you've got of bread and move it further away, so that you won't have that same, I want to eat it, anymore. Would that be okay for you?
Well, yes, it would be.
Yeah.
That would be.
So when we're saying you want nothing for the month, that's going to be your discipline.
Yes.
And then after that, would it be okay that you only have bread the same amount that you have Pitta Bread now? Or do you want it to be a little bit closer?
I think a bit closer, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me to gauge that, on a scale of 0 to 10, what's your desire towards bread now?
10.
Okay. What's your desire towards Pitta Bread now?
0.
So where would you like the bread to be on a scale of 0 to 10? 0 being your Pitta Bread and no desire, 10 being I want bread now, desire.
If I'm to cut it out of my diet, well, it'd have to be 0.
My thoughts around this from an ecology is once we've done this is going to be fixed and permanent. So if we put it as a 0 to where the bread is, whereas in a month's time you're wanting it to be
introduce it
again, it could be that we move it towards the 2. So rather than it being here, which is where you said, we might move it to about here. So it's not as close to you, but it's along the way.
Yeah, we could try that way.
If
Yes,
we do
try
that,
way, yeah.
We can always revisit this in a couple of weeks if you're finding that you haven't. But I don't want to take bread away from you because it is a staple of part of your diet. It's one of your carb groups. So from my perspective, I'd like to be able to ensure that you can still have bread in that month's time. I don't want to take it out of your diet. And then, so this month, where you want to lose your weight, the fact that it's down to, say, 2 out of 10, if you had it the once or twice, which is how you take or leave Pitta Bread, then it would be okay, because if you're having it, you're having it every day?
Oh, yes.
So if you're having it every day, and you only have it once or twice a week, that in itself is going to help with your diet.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're happy to do that
rather that's fine.
And we can always revisit it, whereas I'd rather do it on that, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So we're at a 10 and wanting to go down to a 2. Yeah? Okay. Are there any negative consequences of you taking this from a 10 to a 2?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, apart from the fact that I enjoy eating bread, but I know that it isn't doing my weight any good, or which then follows on by health and everything that I want to do, exercise.
Okay. So the positive intentions of doing it then is around your health and being able to exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. So on a score of out of 100%, how okay is it with you to do this technique now?
100%.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. So as I said, I've kind of told you about it already, but it's submodalities. I'm going to ask you a list of questions. I'm going to say it faster than you want me to.
Right.
And that's on purpose. If you're really struggling and you want me to slow down, you can ask me to slow down, and then I'll break it into 3 sections. You can ask me to slow down and I'll take it back slightly, but I'll need to speed it back up again as part of the technique. I don't want you to think about the answers.
Right.
I literally want the first thing that pops into your head.
Okay.
Like it was here, that was an immediate response. I just want the first words that come out of your head.
Okay.
Okay? So, I'll start off with bread. I'll elicit all the submodalities for that. Then I'll elicit all the submodalities for Pitta Bread. And then I'll take a couple of minutes myself just to look at the differences between the two, and then we'll do the move.
Okay.